What is up, guys? Welcome to Pro Fight Picks. My name is Valentin, and today we're gonna take a look at the upcoming UFC Fight Night Dern versus Rodriguez, and I will take a look at some of the potentially good fights that would bring us some nice money, and we're gonna take a best bets regarding these fights. Regarding the last event here, you guys can take a look what we got. So congratulations to everyone who tailed my bets. We got pretty much everything except for Kevin Holland being knocked out by a headbutt, but thankfully that fight was declared no contest, so it did not have any negative impact on the bets. So let's dive in for the upcoming ones. So moving on to the first fight that I thought is pretty interesting and safe fight in terms of betting is Lupita Godinez fighting against Sam Hughes. So what do we know about Godinez? Prior to joining the UFC, she had 5 fights at the tournaments of little-known promotions, and she was managed to win all of them. At the UFC, Lupita made her debut in April, but lost by split decision to Jessica Penn. So Godinez is a versatile fighter with balanced striking and wrestling. Lupita is not a pronounced puncher, but she works pretty skillfully on the feet and can be very dangerous on the ground. The Mexican has never lost inside the distance in her career, and during amateur performances, she already defeated her upcoming opponent. Her opponent, Sam Hughes, prior to joining the UFC, had a record of 5 wins in 6 fights. However, Sam lost both fights in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, to Hush Torres by TKO in the first round, and to Conclac Sufisair by unanimous decision. Hughes is also a versatile fighter, but she's more effective on the ground rather than on the feet. Most often, Sam defeated her opponents with submissions, and she lost twice inside the distance. It is possible that another defeat will be the reason for her dismissal from the UFC. Moving on to the prediction, I believe that Lupita Godinez already knows how and that she can beat Sam Hughes. At the amateur level, these athletes had 2 face-to-face fights. The first ended in a draw, and the second, Godinez took the victory by decision. Constant movement and dominance in a stance will help Godinez to defeat her familiar opponent again. Hughes will bet on takedowns, but Godinez is defending well on the ground. The likelihood of an early stoppage in this fight is pretty low, and I believe Godinez will be able to get a victory by decision in this fight. So in terms of best bets, I would say that best one is a pretty safe one would be Godinez to win as a money line. An alternative bet would be fight does not go to distance, even though it's a little bit risky one, but it still has a place to exist. Moving on to the next fight, we got Alexander Romanov fighting against Jared Vandeera. So before signing a contract with the UFC, Romanov amassed a record of 11 victories inside the distance in 11 fights. At the UFC, he had 3 more successful fights, gaining 3 inside the distance victories. However, it should be noted that the last victory against Juan Espina was awarded to the Moldovan fighter not really fairly, after he got low-blowed. So Romanov is a base freestyle wrestler with excellent ground skills and solid striking power. Alexander earned most of his victories by chokes and submissions. As the opposition reaches a qualitatively new level, the Moldovan will experience difficulties, especially in fights with strikers with good takedown defense. His opponent Vandeera, prior to joining the UFC, held a 11-4 record. After that, he was able to win the Contender Series fight, which secured him an UFC contract. Jared lost his debut fight in the UFC by KO to Sergey Spivak and defeated Justin Taff by decision at Fight Night 188 in May. Vandeera is an outspoken striker who prefers to fight on the feet. He boxes well and has a powerful punch. Most often, Jared defeated his opponents by KO, but in most cases their skill level was far from the top. Romanov's superiority in wrestling should be the decisive factor. Romanov will attempt takedowns, avoiding standing exchanges. Vandeera has 0 chances on the ground, so he will try to hurt Moldovan at the start of the fight without any reconnaissance. The likelihood of an early end to this fight is pretty high. Regarding the best bets, the best one would be Romanov to to win as a money line, even though the coefficient is a little bit high. So another good bet would be fight does not go to distance. As an alternative bet, it's worth looking at Romanov to win by submission. Moving on to the next fight, this fight is pretty straightforward, I believe that this current fight should be like a walk in the park for halves. In my opinion, he's ready to start fighting more skillful and ranked opponents. However, he's taking it slow but smart. What can we say? Phil is more skilled in each department than his opponent and should be able to get the W with ease. So in terms of the best bets, I would say the money line is looking good for House to win. Another nice bet would be fight doesn't go to distance, since I believe Phil will be able to get KO or TKO in this fight. And from here comes the alternative bet, Phil to win by KO or TKO. So the best bet for the event would be the parlay of Godinez, Romanov and halves. I believe it is a pretty safe bet because they are moderate favorites in their fights and they got all the skills they need in order to win. Here guys, you can take a look at the bets I placed. So I did the free team parlay of Romanov, halves and Godinez. Another one, I decided to choose 6 fighters. I think it's a pretty high chance bet to win, but the more fighters you add, the riskier it gets. I'm not quite sure about Mackenzie Dern in that bet. However, it is possible that she is gonna be able to dominate her opponent. It's gonna be a nice test for her, but we'll see how it goes on Saturday night. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss more weekly videos. Leave your picks and the thoughts in the comment section below. And let's hope another Saturday gonna be as profitable as the one before. Thank you once again guys, and I'll see you soon.